Fellas, you ever seek validation from strangers on the internet? I know you do. That's why you're watching this right now and you're gonna leave a comment, and I'll heart it. I promise you that I will. And if I don't heart it, I read it and I still appreciate it. I just forgot. But we're back with more Factor Opinions. Basically, what I do is I ask you guys to give me your hottest takes, your most vile opinions, your most repugnant beliefs, and we discussed them here on the show. Now, E3 just ended, so a lot of these are a little bit more E3 slanted, but they have to do with video games as a whole. And we're going to decide if these statements from Twitter are a fun fact or an outrageous opinion. You want to be that guy. Don't be that guy. That's what happens when you post smash shit. Don't do that. And hey, if you agree with me on any of these points, please subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a lot. There's no way that you're not going to agree with me 8 out of 8 times. There's no way. If I hit tails that much, I'm gonna end my channel. That would be so cringe. Let's get started. Now, this is a two-parter, but I think you can get most of it. Bunky says, the Nintendo Direct plus Treehouse approach should be pursued by other larger companies to narrow the focus of their conferences and allow viewers to take a deep dive into projects they're interested in. The Square showcases 40 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy is a prime example of this problem with this large presentation approach. On top of narrowing focus and creating more engaging presentations, this would also allow for more small companies to show their project at this huge trade show. So basically what Nintendo does is they show you their whole lineup and they just show it for like 3 minutes, and then they're like, we're gonna show this more at the Treehouse. And then you show up to the Treehouse, and if you like it, you go ahead and watch more. And if you don't, then you don't do it. And it seems like most people agree that this is true. I didn't test these. I hope this works. Okay, I got them backwards. But yeah, that's true. Obviously, right? No, it's accurate. This one's pretty easy. I don't know about you guys. When I first saw the Treehouse approach, I was like, I'm not interested in this. I don't want to watch more of this. It feels like it's so ancillary and you don't need to watch it. But that's sort of the point, isn't it? If you're not interested in it, you don't have to watch. But I was super happy to catch information about WarioWare, about Mario Party. But if they spent 30 minutes talking about the new Mario Party game, which is just remakes of old boards, it would have sucked. Let's not forget that Ubisoft padded like 20 minutes of their presentation with a co-op game mode against zombies or something, remember? What a disaster. I feel like Nintendo gets this luxury though, because they have so many different franchises. Other companies can't really pull this off, and I think Nintendo knows that. And I think that's why it seems easy to do, but it's actually mad hard. Like, you couldn't do a Treehouse with Rainbow Six and Far Cry, and like, people just wouldn't be into all that. Well done to our good friend Bunky Lees. That one's a fact. Metroid Dread is going to be the best-selling Metroid of all time. Now, guys, before you answer, I want you guys to know Metroid has never sold well, as far as I know. Metroid sales suck. Metroid is somewhat of a darling series, you know? Metroid 1 is... Oh my god, Metroid 1 is the best-selling, other than Prime. Yuck. I'm gonna keep it real with you. No, it won't. The obvious argument is the Switch install base, right? Everybody says everybody owns a Switch, it has 1 billion Switches. Don't care, it's 2D. 2D will not mass appeal. Period. Period. I think it will sell well for Metroid, but there is a clear trend with Metroid games, 2D and 3D. Being a 2D side-scroller is going to hurt. There is renewed interest, I think, with like stuff like Hollow Knight and other Metroidvanias, but not enough. I would love to be wrong. I'm getting Dread. I'm very much excited for Dread, and I'm not really a Metroid guy. I love Metroidvanias, but Metroid has never really, like, itself has done it for me. Same with Castlevania, actually, but I love the genre, because, like, look at these numbers, brother. You want Dread to sell 2.85 million. Metroid Prime was a launch title for GameCube, which was a huge console at the time. One of the only games you could play on it. I don't think so. I don't see Dread doing it. I hope it does. I really hope it succeeds. I think this is just going to make people happy. They're just trying to please people. Also, take a look. Guys.
Peep this one.
Look at Samus Returns. No, Metroid sucks. In sales! In sales! In sales! Not Yamwee! I never know if I'm saying that right. Not Yamwee? Yamwee? They say E3 doesn't feel the same without Sony, considering it's one of the big three. I wish they went the Nintendo route, continuing to do E3 presentations while still having their direct style vids throughout the year. Your big uncle not showing up at Thanksgiving, it's just not the same, right? You guys were wrong on the last one, but you're spitting here. I realized when I looked back at E3, when I sort of did the retrospective and I thought about everything, I was like, damn, there's something missing. And I really think Sony fills this void of, like, so many Sony games look the same, right? It's that, like, third-person walking thing where you gotta, like, check every wall and hit the X button a bunch, and sometimes people follow you. Over-the-shoulder dad game. Dude, that's perfect. Over-the-shoulder dad game. Perfect. And I feel like that fits very snugly into Sony. Or you have stuff like Spider-Man, which I didn't really see anything, like, along those lines during Xbox. Like, Xbox's presentation was mostly shooters. They were good shooters, but they were mostly shooters, right? And I guess that was true of everybody. I think you really need Sony, because I think Sony also has a lot of, like, really cool ideas that they bring to series. I do think they should continue to do directs, but I think not having Sony, like, their presence is missed. You know what I mean? A lot of people said, I don't know if it's going to get on the board. A lot of people said that E3 should just go away entirely. I don't think so. Did I just spoil one of the answers? We'll see. You have to keep watching the video to find out. How intriguing. Pure DeWang says Well, how do we feel about this? Let's find out. E3 is super unnecessary. Let companies and developers produce games on their own time instead of rushing it to get a gameplay trailer or demo out sooner than it should be because of artificial E3 hype. No reason that this has to be a huge event that will lead to disappointment. Yeah, I don't agree. I think E3 is an excellent focal point for the industry, and I like it a lot. It is a reason for us all to get excited year after year. And it's a way for companies to come together and show off what they're doing. And most importantly, it is an amazing opportunity for companies to dunk on each other, which is incredible. And at this point, it's amazing for reactioners, right? I don't know if that has helped or hurt E3. I feel like it's helped in a lot of ways, but it means that they don't necessarily control all the broadcasts. The reason I say that is because XQC had the most viewers on E3 by a pretty large margin. And I feel like without being able to control that fully, it can come back to bite you, but I mean, it's so much press, right? Keen says, Nintendo won E3. If you own a Switch, there's at least one game shown in the Direct that gives any person a reason to be excited. That can't be said for Microsoft, Square Enix, Ubisoft, Capcom, blah, blah, blah. Did Nintendo win? Did Nintendo save E3? Guys, can you believe it? It is the rare double. It's both. You know how you guys always get mad at me on these tweets because one part is true and one part isn't, and you guys are like, well, you have to say the whole thing is true or false. This word is doing a lot of heavy lifting. First off, shut the hell up. It's my show. Second off, this is like, maybe? I agree with you on Square Enix, Ubisoft, and Capcom. Capcom didn't show anything. No gameplay anyway. Square Enix is designing itself into a hole, and Ubisoft makes bland nothing gruel. And I feel like it's less that you can't be excited for it, but they all have very distinct identities, and you know what to expect from all of them. I don't think that's true with Microsoft. I think Microsoft has a big breadth of experiences and games and ranges, and part of that is because they're cheating, right? Because they're not really developing. If they are, they're developing Forza. But Microsoft and Nintendo, I think, are on the same wavelength, where they can offer things that are way more varied. Nintendo has that very neat trick of having so many, it's a double-edged sword. Nintendo has so many beloved franchises with almost two distinct fan bases, right? The way that I sort of think about it is Ubisoft is a YouTuber, right? And they make shooter videos. And when they try to make a different video, it fucking bombs. Nintendo is a variety channel, which means that, like, it's harder to get bigger on stuff, but you have some heavy hitters. The fact that they get people excited is nice, but I don't think those audiences are as big as they seem. So I think it's very easy to see that and be like, oh, dude, people got a new Advance Wars. They're going to be so happy about that. But I could see it selling like 200K copies. So it's both. It's both. Ooh, half heart. Good friend from Panda. Thank you, Mr. King Ken. Now, this is Smash posting. but it is relevant because it's E3, and I think it's important to talk about. Nintendo could put absolutely anybody they want in Smash, and it wouldn't matter to them, because almost everyone who is going to buy the DLC has already bought both fighter passes. So, is this true or false? I think this one's a little obvious. This one's a gimme. Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore. I wonder how many people buy solo. I guess I have to buy the full pass, right? Because I have to, right? Dude, if I stream Smash and I don't have Byleth, I'm gonna get tweets about it. LMAO Coney doesn't have Byleth, blah, blah, blah. I have to get them all. I have to learn them. No, I don't think it matters at this point. And I don't think it's like a marketing thing. And I think with Kazuya, a lot of people are thinking that this is like an opportunity for Smash to like reach Tekken, like reach across the aisle and like extend the olive branch. And oh my god, we're both fighting it. I don't think Tekken players that don't like Smash are going to try Kazuya. Why would they? That doesn't make any sense. But hey, if you're into it, go for it, right? As a Tekken guy, holy fuck, does Ultimate suck. It's different worlds, dude. Unless you're playing online, in which case you're absolutely right. There was a tweet that was going around of a top player playing somebody and complaining that they were abusing Wi-Fi, and the guy that was getting complained about tweeted about it like, LMAO, he's complaining about me, and nobody wins in this situation. The top player looks like an asshole even though he's just venting because online sucks. The other guy looks like he's just doing it for attention because LMAO, look, I beat a good player. It just, nobody wins. I will always play online in DLC launch day. Hey, catch me on the Kazuya stream. I'm gonna be mashing. Dude, when Terry came out, I was literally just flailing the stick and hitting A, and I was getting power dunks. It was sick. Dude, somebody said, how would you feel if they put Mario in Smash and they called them Smashies or something? I was like, hell yeah. Why do I give a shit? What would you do if they put Olimar in Tekken and called him a Spacey? That would be very funny. And they're like, no, but you don't understand. No, please do that. And then somebody was like, okay, but if we add Smash characters to Tekken, we're gonna call them bitches. Please do! You know how fucking funny that would be? Yeah, King has a really hard time getting in on the bitch characters. They really box him out with projectiles. He has a really difficult time trying to make his way in. Coney is Luigi a Shoto. He would be if he had auto turnaround. Absolutely. Because to me, I said this before, a Shoto is a character in Smash who does a fuck ton of damage up close, and the optimal way to fight them is not to engage. All right, we're done. Yes, this is clearly a fact. We all know that. We have a little fun. Ooh, our good friend, Kid Boomer. I like this one, actually. Game devs need to stop porting over their modern tech games to Switch if they're going to be poorly optimized. Guardians of the Galaxy couldn't get a stable frame rate from its own reveal, and you expect me to believe it can run half decently on the Switch? Huh? It seems like there's a general consensus, correct? I have some news for you guys, actually. This is not true. Do you want to know why? Because of these little rascals. It's about the kids. I get that you guys want good frame rate. You want stability. You want the game to run well. Hey, Tantalus is in the chat right now. He's got 3 of those suckers, and they play on the Switch. Do you think they give a shit if it's stable or not? They don't care about that. And honestly, I didn't used to either before I got this fucking PC. Now I'm cursed with knowledge. I can't play anything that's under 144 hertz. It's terrible. You know how hard it is to go back to play Bloodborne? Fuck. Please remake it. I feel like more people than you realize don't give a shit. And it's easy to make fun of, including me. I like doing it too. But I really think most people don't care. And obviously there's a limit to this. You've got stuff like Cyberpunk, which is like non-functional. But dude, how many people have consoles? How many people don't game on PC? There was a time where people said PC gaming was dying. That's not the case anymore. And kids will play anything you give to them. And let's not pretend like kids aren't playing M-rated games. GTA San Andreas came out in 2004. I was 16. I walked right up in that fucking GameStop and bought it. No questions. I opened it up on the way home. I couldn't even drive to the store at that point. Actually, I was 16. I probably did. But I think my mom drove me. I think I was coming out of work. Regardless, I opened up the map on the way home. Kids play stuff. It's up to their parents to stop them. But a lot of parents don't care. The kids don't care about frame rates. They don't care about stability, whatever. And I think it's important to remember that. I want games to run well, but thank you for writing in, but you're wrong on this one. It's for the kids. Think about them kids. They don't care. Look at them. Look at how happy they are. This diverse, multicultural group of kids. Perfectly picked for a stock photo. Incredible work. Breadbox2077 says, CG only reveals can be cool for new IPs because they aren't trying to sell you on the game, but the idea that they're trying to turn into a game. Redfall was a great reveal and hooked me on the idea, and if the gameplay reveal is good, then that's even better. CG trailers. Good or bad? In the context they put forward, it makes sense. I can see two different ways of thinking of this, right? Can you have CG only reveal, or do you need the gameplay in the trailer? No, you could do it. You could do it. You can have a CG only thing if you're just trying to get across the idea and the concept. When I saw Redfall, and they were like, yeah, this is Arcane. Arcane made Prey, and they made Dishonored, and now they're doing this four-person shooter. I was like, sick. I'm bought in. Being a new IP makes it better. If it's an old IP and you don't show gameplay, I'm like... But then again, you know what it is, right? Imagine if Wizard with a Gun didn't have gameplay. Oh, that's a good point. I might have bought it. Almost got my ass. I think CG-only trailers, if they stay true to what they're showing, that's the caveat. Because a lot of them don't. Redfall looked kind of derivative to me, but that's only because I saw so many other Left 4 Dead games, right? It didn't feel the same as, like, their other stuff in terms of being, like, totally unique and new and interesting. But I really trust them, and I think Redfall is going to be a good game. If I see a Ubisoft CG trailer, I'm peepo ignore. Really depends on a lot of things. Depends on the dev, depends on what kind of game it is, if it's a shooter, whatever. I think that's kind of important. I'm gonna say this is true, though. I think CG-only stuff can get across an idea pretty well. And that's a fact. And that's the end of Fact or Opinion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment below, because I really care a lot. I'm gonna read all of them. One day I won't be able to, but I can now. And remember to subscribe, because if you don't do it, somebody else will. Thanks for watching. Good. Not bad. Good movie. What was wrong with Wizard with a Gun? It was don't starve. That's all it was. Looks like shit.